Hello. So something that's interesting to me is that sometimes I will find myself getting so excited over a new makeup release because it's got a really interesting color story, or I've never seen that shade of puke green before, or, I don't have a purple lipstick with green sparkles. But other times I get excited for a makeup release because I'm like, that is something that if it works for me, I will use that every damn day. Today is that kind of release. I am so excited because today I am going to be trying for the first time the Salt New York and Hannah Louise Poston collection collaboration. Like I said, I'm so excited because I really do feel if the consistency, if the quality, if everything about this is how I anticipate it to be, this could be everyday makeup for me. Hannah is somebody who is she is so wonderful. I've gotten to know her through the Creators and Friends events, and I've gotten to, see her a few times. And most recently on our most recent trip to the Catskills, Hannah and I actually wound up being on the same train back to New York City together. And we just had several hours to chat, which is the first time we've actually had hours of one-on-one time. And she is just such a light. She is a wonderful soul. If you don't already follow Hannah, of course, I'm going to link her channel down below, but I'm also going to link you to her video where she talks about this collaboration and everything to do with it. But if you have watched my channel before, you might know that Salt New York is a brand I really, really love. I really vibe with their products. Their products vibe really well with me. So what I decided I'm going to do today is I am going to put on a full face of Salt New York. So I am going to be using my Sneaky Bomb foundation, my Best Case concealer, and then Hannah's products for the lips and cheeks. I might even try putting one a little bit on the eyes. So of course I will be doing swatches of Hannah's products so that you can see them all, but you can buy each of these individually. You can buy them as a quad. You can buy them with this actual palette. So just to give you some prices, by the way, there is a light, a medium, and a deep set. I have light. If you want just the 4 pans, that is $64. If you want it with the palette, that's $84. And the singles are $16 each. So I do believe for this to be a reasonably priced kind of higher end brand, and the quality is there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start by applying the face makeup. The first thing I'm going to do actually is prep my face with the Merit Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. But as I'm putting this on, I want to put for you here on the screen what this PR package looked like when it showed up to me. And full disclosure, this was only put together like this for PR. This is not how everybody's palettes are going to arrive, but I really appreciate the thought and artistry that goes into this brand, despite the fact that I do believe, again, that they are reasonably priced. I feel like they make everything feel like a luxury experience, down to the fact that all of the palettes, when you get them, come in these woven bags, and I keep all of these. I give these as gifts to a lot of people, and I put like little makeup, goodies in them. These are fantastic, things like that. Just, oh God, I love this brand. I'm going to go ahead and start into my very loved complexion products. So again, this is the Sneaky Bomb, and I mixed these two shades, which are 11 and 12. I literally just kind of go back and forth between the two. And you can apply this with your fingers, by the way. You can absolutely apply this with your fingers, but I love their products because they are buildable, but they are so creamy and comfortable on the skin. By the way, I've got a pimple here that broke out so badly that it eventually turned into a scab. So I don't anticipate that this is going to cover that up because this is not a full coverage foundation. This is buildable for me to like medium coverage, but it's so beautifully creamy and just, oh God, it lasts on the skin. And I love the natural glow that it gives. I don't feel like it looks too dewy. It's not too matte. It's just absolutely beautiful. Like, look at that. Look at that glow. All right, now I'm going in with the Best Case concealer. Again, I tend to mix these two shades. I think I'll be a little more of this one right here. Let me see what shade that is. This one is N12, and I'm going to use this under the eyes. And you'll see, like, I have a dark spot right here. It does do a nice job of covering despite how creamy and lightweight these are. I just found a piece of eyelash glue on my eyelid from 3 days ago. I'm a classy person. Let's see what it does over the scab. Yeah, not much is covering that today. But again, I love even just this concealer because it goes on so incredibly creamy. I am 45 years old, so I do have, creases under my eyes, creases elsewhere on my face, and I feel like it never settles into those creases. I feel like it just is beautiful. And before I go in with the Hannah Quad, I am going to go in and just powder just a few areas that I don't want to move, because Hannah's things are all cream products. So I don't like putting, personally, I don't like putting creams on top of powder. So I'm really just using this to set, like, you know, my chin and my jawline, just a little bit on my forehead just to take down the shine. All right, we are all set. So I am so excited to dig into this. So as you can see, we do have 3 cream colors and 1 cream highlight. So the first shade we have is Teasel, and this is described as Hannah by a gray milk chocolate. Next is Old Gum. If you've ever watched Hannah's channel, she has talked about wanting a shade like this for years. She said it looks like you're not wearing makeup. It is a desaturated, grayed out nude. It is just beautiful looking. And then the deepest shade just in this quad is Waxwing. It is a grayish nude, like a brown purple grayish nude is the way it was described. And then finally this stunning highlight, which is pronounced Nimue. It is spelled N-I-M-U-E. And Hannah described this as sunlight on water, that kind of glow. Sunlight on water, but with no color flip. So it doesn't pull gold or silver. Now, as I'm doing swatches, these are meant to be desaturated nudes, and Hannah interestingly had mentioned that it was not the traditional Salt New York formula, and it was stiffer and more putty feeling and more matte, because Salt New York is usually very dewy. This is that first shade Teasel. This does feel very similar to me, still very emollient, and it almost, I mean, it looks wet, but maybe it dries down. So let's see, this is Teasel. So again, these are meant to be beautifully desaturated. This is a gorgeous color because I feel like this, she called it gray milk chocolate, and maybe it's the milk chocolate part that I do believe is bringing forth a little bit of that warmth, because I love a little bit of a warm tone in there. That's gorgeous. Next is Old Gum. This is the shade, again, that Hannah had wanted for a long time. Oh, okay, interesting. So this one is definitely more of like a grayed out color. It's really pretty though, but it is very, very nude. There is a slight pinky purple undertone to it. Really beautiful. And finally, Waxwing is that brown purple grayish nude, as she describes it. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. See, that is brown, purple, grayish. Like, that is the perfect description. And then for the highlight, let me put that here kind of on the base of my hand. Oh, wow. That is unique. That just literally, okay, so it is, oh my God. This is so fascinating to me because, again, like she said, I was kind of confused at like no color flip, because of course, yes, you do have some highlights that maybe you turn one way and there's a flash of green. This literally has not much color to it, but it's catching the light so beautifully right there. Oh my God, I want this on my face now. So I think the colors I'm going to be using, I think I want to use Old Gum on my cheeks. I want to use the highlighter actually as a highlighter. And then I think I want to use Waxwing on the lips, that like purpley. So I'm going to try this with a brush first. Again, I'm going in with Old Gum right now. And let's see how this looks. Hello? 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 Okay. One thing that's lovely about all Salt New York products, by the way, is that they are buildable. So you can start small and get bigger from there. Shut up. This is such a nude, natural color. It is so beautiful. I love it when people put on a fluorescent pink cheek and they're like, this is what it looks like when you're flushed. And I'm like, is it? Because you might need a doctor. To me, this is what it looks like when I have a little bit of sun. It's just this like rosiness. It almost brings some more like dimension to the face even. Like, I'm not wearing contour today and I feel like it looks like I'm wearing contour, but it's so beautiful. You know what? I'm going to layer. I want to go in with a little bit of, I want to go in with a little bit of Teasel on the cheeks, and then I'll use Waxwing on the lips, and we'll be using all 4. I'm going to use Teasel up here. See what it looks like? Oh, okay. That added even more dimension. I feel like that guy on TikTok, his name is like Jordan something, right? The one who does the food reviews, and he'll take a bite, and then he takes off his glasses and he throws them. That's me throwing my brushes. You know how I talked about that I was convinced that these were probably going to be everyday products for me if they worked right? Look at that. That is such a beautiful color. and I used the two. Again, so I used Old Gum here and then Teasel back here. I fear I love it. Now I'm going to take another brush. This is the BK Beauty Nikki LaRose N14. And I'm going to go in first with the brush. Let's try it. This is to Nimue. And I'm just going to tap this here. Now, I will say that the Salt New York formula is not, it's not that it dries down to like a powdery finish. So it does stay a little bit more tacky on the cheeks, which I don't mind because I have dry skin. But if you mind it, obviously you can put some powder on top. This is making my skin look so lovely. So lovely. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Okay. I'm actually going to go ahead. Whatever was left on my concealer brush, I'm just applying this to my eyes. I don't want to apply any eyeshadow today, actually. I'm going to leave that bare and put on some mascara, but that is so lovely. Okay. I'm going to take off all of my lip balm, and now I want to go into Wax Wing. I'm going to try this with just my finger. I think that looks lovely. I think it feels lovely. Here's the thing. When it comes to lipsticks for me, I'm not a big fan on myself of a desaturated lip. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that as I get older, you know, I have more lines around my mouth. So I kind of like a more structured lip. This does look like my lips, but better though. This color is definitely my lips, but better. I think that this for me is going to wind up being a cheek palette, maybe even a little bit for the eyes on some days. It does look really pretty though. So if you're into like a desaturated, almost blurred out lip, I think you will absolutely use these on your lips. What if I added a tiny bit of lip liner? I'm going to try a tiny bit of Foggy by Unearthly. You know what? I like that better already. I might have just needed some lip liner because I like that better already. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a tiny bit of Nimue right here in the center. Okay, that I really like. That I like a lot better. I needed a little bit of structure. I am not somebody who can do like a full blurry lip. This cheek though. Y'all, it's like I said, that if the colors worked for me and if the formula felt consistent with other Salt New York formulas, then I knew this was going to be a hit for me personally. This is a hit for me personally. I absolutely love this. I did use all 4 shades. I love this cheek combo. And it's so subtle, but I feel like my skin is just like glowing. Oh my God. This feels like the first time I tried Salt New York ever. But anyway, I just want to say congratulations to Hannah and the entire Salt New York team. I think you nailed this. I think you absolutely nailed it. This cheek is going to become a new favorite for me. I can't stop like staring at it in the monitor. It's so beautiful and shiny. I feel real pretty. So thank you so much to Salt New York and to Hannah for sending this to me. Let me know in the comments down below. Is this something you're thinking of picking up? But which shade is your favorite? Again, they do have a light, medium, and a deep palette. I have to admit that I'd be curious to try the medium palette on myself as well. They have swatches on every skin tone on their website. The deep palette is beautiful. The medium palette, beautiful. So I have no doubt that those are going to be the same quality as these. And I'm so freaking excited to have a new thing in my repertoire that I know is going to get a lot of use by me. So I'm very excited. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I'll go ahead and put for you on the screen my last Salt New York review so you can learn more about the brand. But if you have a second before you leave, please give this video a thumbs up. That helps out my channel so much. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Those are all Glitter Fallout. As always, 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 and forever, you are super freaking rock stars. I love you so much with my whole heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.